chapter review 1, question number 4a. We have 3 into 5y plus 4. Multiply 3 5s are 15 and 3 4s are 12. Question B. 5x squared into 3 minus 5x plus 2x squared. 5x squared into 3, 15x squared. 5 multiplied by negative 5 gives us negative 25. X squared into x gives us x cubed. 5x squared into 2x squared gives us 10x to the power of 4. There are no like terms that can be simplified, so we can leave the answer at that point. Question C. 5x into 2x plus 3 minus 2x into 1 minus 3x. So 5 into 2 gives us 10x squared. We have x and x both sides. And 5x into 3 gives us 10, 5 3s are 15, 15x. Then minus 2x times 1 gives us negative 2x. And minus 2x times negative 3x gives us positive 6x squared. We can add up the like terms. 10x squared, 6x squared are like terms, and 15x and minus 2x are like terms. 10 plus 6 is 16x squared. 15 minus 2 is 13x. Question D. 3x squared into 1 plus 3x minus 2x into 3x minus 2. So we have 3x squared into 1, then 3x squared into 3x, which is 9x cubed. Minus 2x into 3x is minus 6x squared, and minus into minus is positive, so positive 4x. We have like terms here, 3x squared and negative 6x squared. So we can start by writing 9x cubed. 3x squared minus 6x squared gives us minus 3x squared and plus 4x. That answers question 4. Let's move on to question number 5, which is factorize. So the first thing we need to look when we factorize if there is a common factor between the terms that can be removed common. So we have x common in both the terms, x into 3x plus 4. So we removed x common out. So what is left from the first term after removing one of the x's is 3x, and after removing this x, 4 is left here. So when we multiply back, we should get the same expression as the question. Question B, 4y squared plus 10y. Again, we need to remove common out, and we see 2 is common and y is common. So 2y, 2 is left inside with the y, 2 5s are 10. To check, we can multiply back. We should get the original question. C is x squared plus xy plus xy squared. In all the three terms, we have x common. So we can remove x. From the first term, x is left. From the second term, y is left. And from the third term, y squared is left. And question D, we have 8xy squared plus 10x squared y. So we have here maximum common is 2 in numerical value, and we have x and y common. So when we remove 2 from the first term, we are left with 4y squared, 4y, because we remove one x and one y. And from the second term, we remove 2, so we are left with 5. One x goes out, so we have x, and then we don't have any y's because the y is gone out. So that is the answer for 5D. Let's move on to question number 6. Question 6, again we need to factorize 6a x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now here if we see, we always start by looking if there is a common that can be removed out. There is no common, and this is a quadratic expression, which means it's to the power of 2. So we do it by the product and sum method. Product is the number, which is the constant, so product is 2. The sum is the coefficient of x, so the sum is 3. The sum is 3. So we need to find two numbers that multiply to give you 2 and add up to give 3. So the numbers are 2 and 1. So the answer is x plus 2 into x plus 1, and those are our factors. Question B, we have 3x squared plus 6x. Again, we start looking if there is a common in the terms. We have 3 and x common. We remove the common out. What is left out of the first term is x, and second term we have 2 remaining. That was B. Then C, we have x squared minus 2x minus 35. If we observe, there's nothing common in all the 3 terms, so we will solve this by product and sum. Product is negative 35, which is the constant number, and the sum is negative 2, which is the coefficient of x. So the sum is negative 2. What are the two numbers that multiply to give us 35? So, and also should have a difference of 2. So 7 5s are 35. They have a difference of 2. Since the sum is negative, the greater number should be negative. So the factors are x minus 7 and x plus 5. Moving on to question D, we have 2x squared minus x minus 3. Now in this question, this is again a quadratic expression, but we have a coefficient of x squared other than 1. So our coefficient of x squared is 2 here. In the earlier questions, we had coefficient of x squared as 1, where we have done the working by product and sum. But if the coefficient of x squared is other than 1, we need to do this by splitting the middle term. So for this also we will use product and sum. So the product is, in the earlier case, the product was negative 35, for example, or positive 2, when the coefficient of x squared was just 1. But in this case, the product is going to be 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. So negative 6, the sum is the coefficient of x, which is negative 1. What are the two numbers that multiply to give us 6? 2 3s are 6. Since the sum is negative, the bigger number will have the minus sign. We'll split the middle term. 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x. So these two we split here for minus x, and then minus 3 we write as it is. Take common from the first two terms. Take common from the last two terms. So 2x is common. X plus 1 remains inside. Here minus 3 is common in the last two terms, and x plus 1. So one indication that we are going right is our brackets are identical. And finally, from the first term, we remove x plus 1 common out from the first and the second term, and what is left is 2x minus 3, and those are our factors. Let's move on to question E. We have 5x squared minus 13x minus 6. Again, the coefficient of x squared is not 1, so if we need to do this by product and sum, Our product is 5 into negative 6, which is negative 30. So the product is negative 30. The sum is the coefficient of x, which is negative 13. What are the two numbers that multiply to give us negative 30 and add up to give us negative 13? So that is minus 10 and minus 3. They give us positive 30. So we can't take it as positive 30 because our product is negative 30. Is there any other combination? Yes, we have to try another combination because in this case, we do get the sum as negative 13, but we do not get the product as positive 30. So we need to try another combination. So 15 into 2. So minus 15 and plus 2. So we get a difference of negative 13 and we multiply to get negative 30 as well. So we split the middle term here, minus 13, which is equivalent to minus 15 plus 2. So 5x squared minus 15x plus 2x minus 6. Take common from the first two terms, take common from the last two terms. We have 5x into x minus 3 plus 2 into x minus 3. Again, my brackets are identical, which is an indication that I'm going correct. So remove x minus 3 common out from the first and second term. What is left is 5x plus 2. And that's our answer. Moving on to the last question from this exercise. We have question F, which is 6 minus 5x minus x squared. I will first rearrange it. Minus x squared minus 5x plus 6. Rearranging does not change the sign of the terms. The terms only change sign if we have an equal to sign and the terms go to the other side of the equal to sign. So in this case, there is no equal to sign and the terms are just shuffling within their own side. So there won't be a change of sign. Now again here, we have the coefficient of x squared negative 1. So if the coefficient of x squared is anything other than 1, we need to take the product as the coefficient of x squared into the constant. So the product is 6 into negative 1, which is negative 6. The sum is negative 5. What are the two numbers that multiply to give us negative 6 and add up to give us negative 5? So 6 ones are 6 with a minus 6 and a positive 1. So minus 6 plus 1 gives us negative 5 and they multiply to give us negative 6. Splitting the middle term, we have minus x squared minus 6x plus 1x plus 6. We remove common from the first two terms and from the last two terms. We have minus 1 common, minus x common. What is left inside is x plus 6. So when I remove the minus sign common out, the sign inside is positive now because minus into plus gives me minus. And from the second bracket, I have 1 common out. So what remains inside is x plus 6. Now, from the first term and the last term, I remove x plus 6 common out. So I remove the x plus 6 common. And what is left inside is minus x plus 1 or 1 minus x. And that answers question 6F.